transition for a second. It's a little politics. Because we got the Iowa caucuses taking place tonight. With the GOP, we all know that Trump's got that bad in the bag. Nikki Haley has usurped Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. She's number 2 in the polls right now at 20%, eclipsing him. He's at about 16%. This is what happens, Ron DeSantis, when you take on the wrong battles. It's what happens. You fall, okay? And that's what he's been doing. Been getting himself involved in too much turmoil. And you got some people in the country that view Nikki Haley as somebody that's willing to bring the American people together. Now, don't come close to Trump. And everybody's hoping that ultimately he gets convicted, and that way he's not allowed in office, even though there's no law that says a felon can't be in the White House. So go figure that out. That's neither here nor there. That's not why I'm bringing up Trump. Why I'm bringing up Trump is because I want you all to see some of these sound bites that he's been associated with lately. Because you talk about Biden, if he trips over something, it's national news, and he's the brunt of jokes. If he stumbles, even though he stumbled when he was younger, you still hold that against him. Well, if you did all of that with him, what do you have to say about seeing this from Donald Trump?
All I know about magnets is this. Give me a glass of water. Let me drop it on the magnets. That's the end of the magnets. Obamacare is a catastrophe. Nobody talks about it. You know, without John McCain, we would have had it done. But John McCain, for some reason, couldn't get his arm up that day. Remember? He goes like that. That was the end of that. The Civil War was so fascinating, so horrible. So many mistakes were made. See, there was something I think could have been negotiated, to be honest with you. I think you could have negotiated that. All the people died. So many people died. But I was thinking to myself, because I was reading something, and I said, this is something that could have been negotiated. You know, it was just for all those people to die, and they died viciously. That was a vicious, vicious war. Abraham Lincoln, of course, if you negotiated it, you probably wouldn't even know who Abraham Lincoln was. He would have been president, but he would have been president. He wouldn't have been the Abraham Lincoln. Would have been different, but that would have been okay. It would have been a thing that, and I know it very well. I know the whole process that they went through, and they just couldn't get along, and that would have been something that could have been negotiated, and they wouldn't have had that problem. But it was a hell of a time. And you think of it today, I would have absolutely stopped Putin. He would have never gone in, and he didn't. You know, for 4 years he didn't.
Really? Really? Magnets don't work underwater? Where'd that come from? Does it get any more classless than saying a war hero? Somebody who risked his life in service to our country, and former senator who's now deceased, Senator John McCain out of Arizona, that Obamacare could have been derailed if John McCain had raised his hand. I don't know why he didn't raise his hand. You know exactly why he didn't raise his hand. To talk about him with such dishonor, such indecency, really? And then last but not least, Civil War, slavery. You could have negotiated that. And Abraham Lincoln would not have been as well known were it not for that. He's all over the place. He sounds like a screw has come loose in that head of his. It's quite bizarre. I don't hear y'all talking about that much. Why not? Why not? Just asking. Just asking.